Guys, welcome back to another one. I'm Poke Finance Guy. My name is Nick. I'm an accountant by day and a loose pack shiller by evening. It's gonna be a fun one today. First things first, I'm gonna go over with you guys how I sort my bulk before I post it on the TCG player. So the first thing I do is I will separate my bulk based on the silver borders or the yellow borders. The silver borders just came out from Scarlet Violet. So any card from Scarlet Violet on has a silver border, so that'll be separated from the yellow borders, which is pre-Scarlet Violet. Next, I'm gonna sort the cards by their sets. So for example, the silver borders have abbreviations on the bottom left of the card. If you have any lying around, you'll see them. But for instance, one abbreviation is PFL, which stands for Phantasmal Flames. So I will go through all my silver cards and sort them based on whichever set they originated from. The yellow borders have the set symbols. So those are a little harder to sort, especially the ones that I am unfamiliar with that predate when I joined the hobby, which was again, 2022. So it's sometimes a little tougher to figure those out, but I have the power of Google and I can figure that out real quick. So it's not too bad. After that, I mainly will have the sets once they're on TCG player. I'll make sure that they're alphabetized and then I will put them in chronological order in which the sets were released. So for example, I'll have SV1 be the first silver border set in my storage boxes because that was the first set that was released for silver borders. Now, the yellows, obviously I'll try to move as I get more older bulk cards. I'll move the older bulk cards forward and then I'll kind of push the other ones back. Same kind of story. Just having them organized based on set and then alphabetizing them in that set has really helped a lot. And it's helped keep me organized for when I do get orders so I can just quickly pull and kind of go through A, B, C, D, E, F, G and just really, really make sure that I'm able to efficiently make my orders fulfilled as quickly as possible and then move on. There are other methods to doing it, and I think I am gonna research and take a look at them and kind of see maybe if there's a more effective way for me to do it, or if I'm doing it the most effective way. Sometimes it's best to just kind of gauge and see how you can improve, and if you're already optimizing as best as you can currently, and going from there. But that's my bulk update, my bulk business update this week. Right now, I've got a steady flow of orders, which is great, just shipping them out and making sure that there are no issues or problems. Again, I appreciate people who are shopping with me, and I want to thank everyone for doing that. Now, on to Market Talk. Market Talk this week is going to be the loose booster packs. So let's dive into this. At some point, a mass amount of people will be priced out of certain sealed items. And it varies. And it could happen at random points. For example, right now, a lot of people are feeling like they're priced out of Ascended Heroes because the ETB is around 180. The booster bundles are around 80 bucks. It's a lot of money for a new set. But then they can turn to the booster packs, which are a little bit cheaper, and you're able to get maybe 2 or 3 of them at $45 and rip them. So you can still rip Ascended Heroes. Yeah, it's not as much, but you can still rip them. The loose booster packs are one of the lower items in terms of holding for sealed because of a couple of reasons, which I'm going to talk about in a moment. You normally get loose booster packs from people who break down items, mainly ancillary items. So you're talking your collection boxes, you're talking your trainer boxes, you're talking a bunch of different items that would normally have the loose packs in them, and they would be broken down and you have the loose packs now. The whole aspect of this is you have loose packs based on that. Pokemon doesn't really create or sell loose packs outside of Pokemon Center. Pokemon Center is probably one of the only places where you'll be able to buy loose packs, and it's coming from Pokemon Center. Normally, they'll take those loose packs, they'll put them in all their products, put them in the 3-pack blisters, they'll put them in the ETBs, they'll put them in the booster boxes, the booster bundles, the collection boxes, etc. But you can't buy booster packs loose from a LCS unless they break down those products. Pokemon doesn't give the loose booster packs out to distros like that. They don't. They'll put them in their vending machines. They'll put them online. They don't normally give out loose booster packs to distro or to big box. And there's a little bit of merit behind that because Pokemon doesn't want people touching these loose booster packs over and over again. They don't want a lot of hands on these loose booster packs because sometimes you can't tell if these booster packs are being tampered with, which again, we're gonna get into why the loose booster packs are sometimes a good thing and sometimes a bad thing. So because Pokemon doesn't sell loose booster packs, and also because you have to break them down from boxes, booster packs tend to have a little bit of a lower entry point. And you see that. You see that when you go to buy a loose booster pack of, let's say, Brilliant Stars. So let's say it's about $10 per booster pack. That means you can get 36 loose booster packs for $360 online from TCG Player. However, if you go and look at a Brilliant Stars booster box, it's only, well, it's not only, $600. Oh, okay. Okay. It's a $240 difference between a sealed booster box and 36 loose booster packs. And that's because the loose booster packs are a lower entry point from, again, many reasons. So let's look at the pros and the cons here. The first being the pro, they're a lower entry point, which is good for people who are investors or rippers. For rippers, you can buy these and save a couple of them down the line and rip them later on when they're a little higher, or you can sell them if you want and just grab a couple of singles that you like. You could do that too. For investors that are collecting booster packs to hold, I would err on the side of caution for a couple different reasons. One being when it comes to your modern. So you're talking your Phantasmal, you're talking your Shrouded Fable, your Surging Sparks, so on and so forth. Those, in my opinion, are much safer to collect depending on, certain aspects of the sets. For example, Prismatic, I would feel is 80-90% of the time safe to collect. Journey Together, 90% safe to collect. Destined Rivals, safe to collect. It's where I start to err on the side of caution for sets that are a little bigger priced and older. So for example, let's talk about, mid-era, vintage. Those packs are susceptible to a couple of different things that make it difficult to collect. And this is a con about loose booster packs. So while I'm bringing this up, again, this is a con. The issue is a lot of people will weigh packs. And vintage and mid-era even are kind of subject to it, where if people find out that the packs are a little heavier, then they will find out that there's a hit in there and they will open the pack, or they'll say it's a heavy and they'll try to sell it for a premium. Now for mid-era, same kind of story from my understanding. That becomes a little bit of an issue. Now this whole new thing came out maybe about a year and a half ago called CT scanning, and everyone was making it seem like the Pokemon hobby was gonna die from this. I kid you not. CT scanning to me only affects older packs. Like I said, we're talking your vintage and mid-era, because the hits that are in them are higher priced, and then you'll have the PSA 10, so more money. So people will go and scan these packs to find out if they have good hits in them. If they don't, they'll just sell it off. And if they do, they'll just open it up and then grade the card or sell the card itself. That's why I err on the side of caution when it comes to buying vintage and mid-era as a, ripper, as a investor, because those packs, you don't know what they've been through unless you trust the source and you know where that pack has been. That can still happen. And it still does happen to this day where packs are being weighed, and I think some people are probably doing CT scans. If I had to guess, they're probably doing CT scans of prismatic evolutions because of the God packs and how you can get over $3,000 worth of value. And they're probably doing it with Ascended Heroes too. That to me is kind of the cons of having loose booster packs and what people have issues with. Now, another issue, and this is again another con, you'll have issues with resealing. So people will take the wrappers of loose packs that have been opened and they'll reseal them. And there are some reseals that are pretty good out there. There are some reseals that are really good out there. And this is, again, scamming people. So understanding what you're looking at, doing research, having someone's second opinion on this, that goes a long way too. And again, this affects all levels. We're talking vintage, mid-era, and modern. So when you're going for vintage packs, you've got to do your due diligence. Make sure you know someone who can verify the pack, who can make sure the pack looks good, hasn't been tampered with. In addition, just be comfortable with the story of where the pack came from, because sometimes the person may not know. Now, a pro for them is they're very easy to store. They're booster packs. They're small, so they're easy to store. I have a friend who he's currently buying loose booster packs of Prismatic Evolutions, and he has a 5-row designed where it fits the packs perfectly in place, and the top isn't like falling down and making the packs crimp a little downwards. You know, it's good. So they're easy to store. On top of that, because of how the rip and shippers and the live breakers are nowadays, if you hold these packs for a minute, they're going to be good to sell down the road, especially if you're like, this is where I bought them from. This is what happened. You know, I have them all broken down from, you know, collection boxes, bundles, etc. That's also important, because then you're the person who's saying to the rip and shipper, yeah, this is where I broke them. Like, I broke them down from collection boxes. I broke them down from surprise boxes. If we're talking Prismatic Evolutions, again, as the example, I broke down a couple of the booster bundles because some booster bundles came out from Sam's Club and they didn't have the sealing wrap around them. They just had little stickers on the side that showed that they were not tampered with. So you might as well just break those down and have them in loose booster packs if you're not going to keep the bundles as is. That's another pro, is that the loose booster bundle, the loose booster packs, that's a pro, that the loose booster packs can be offloaded to rip and shippers and live streamers, because that part of the hobby is so more prevalent now than it was back in the day. Another pro is that it's nice to rip, because again, you're holding one of the lower, if not the lowest sealed item on the market. So it's not as bad if you get the itch to be like, you know, I kind of want to try my luck with the Evolving Skies pack. It's like, oh, I have 20 loose packs. Let me just open up one. It's $30. It sucks. At this point, it's probably $40. It sucks, but at least I have it, and I got in at $5, let's say, and I'll just open it up, and that's it. Now, it's gonna hurt because it's Evolving Cry. It's called Evolving Cries for a reason, but at least you have that opportunity as opposed to going on the secondary market and having to try and find this pack. So it's nice to rip. It's easier than ripping an ETB or a booster box or a 3-pack blister of Evolving Skies. So something else that I touched on, this is kind of the last con, and we'll wrap it up in a minute. A con for loose booster packs is not all loose booster packs are the greatest holds. Now, if we're talking with someone with an unlimited budget, yes, you can grab 1,000 of each loose booster packs and you'll be fine. That's okay. But if we're talking someone who's on a little bit of a budget, you want to be a little picky choosy on which loose booster packs you're going to grab. So for example, I keep bringing up Prismatic Evolutions to grab. Why? Because it's a good grab. It's the first set that had the full God pack for English. It's got all the evolutions. It's got a ton of other SIRs. There are knocks to Prismatic Evolution, yes, but it has been shown that people really, really, really want to rip Prismatic Evolutions. Whether it's a good set or a bad set, it's not as weighed as you think. The fact is, people want to weigh it more than they do considering it a bad set. And same holds true with Ascended Heroes. Ascended Heroes is higher than Prismatic because Prismatic didn't have IRs, but Ascended Heroes did. And it's got all these SIRs, IRs, it's got the God packs again. So those are great to grab, but then we talk about, let's say, Journey Together, Shrouded Fable, Temporal Forces, those loose booster packs, probably not the greatest. However, we see that if you're just patient in the hobby, everything goes up over time. So even if you're grabbing those booster packs, it's fine. Again, this is talking more strictly to people who are maybe on a more limited budget or just want to be set choosers. That's fine. But a con to the loose booster packs is not all of them are going to be in the same tier in terms of how they're going to rise in value over time. And that is the case also for a lot of other sealed items too. But it's more prevalent with loose booster packs, especially when you could get, here's an example. I mean, I had Fates Collides sleeved booster packs. And they were 20 bucks. 20 bucks a pack. I got them off of a random Pokemon Center drop back when PC was rummaging through its warehouse and found random items to drop. I got them for $4 a pack. They were $20 at the time. Right now, I think they're at $35 a pack for the sleeved. However, go look at a different XY set that was great during that time. For instance, Roaring Skies, Ancient Origins. Those sleeve booster packs were much higher than Fates Collide at that time. And for good reason. They were better packs. They were better sets. Because they're better sets, they did better over time. With that all being said, right now, the market is having a lot of loose booster packs being taken from it. And the reason is rip and chippers. Again, we just talked about how you can sell it back to rip and chippers later on. However, rip and chippers are also prevalent right now. They're very, very large right now. And so they will do whatever it takes to have a lower entry point because then it can help with their profit margins. So they're buying out loose packs on the market. If you go look at Black Bolt, it's evident. If you look at Prismatic Evolutions, it's evident that rip and chippers constantly will go on to TCG Player if they can't find them somewhere else or eBay, and they will buy them in mass quantity because they need them for ripping. It's gotten to a point where actually certain items outside of the loose booster packs are actually better buys. So if you go around and you look, you'll see, oh, the booster packs for Prismatic Evolutions are $20 a pack, but the bundle is only $90. But the bundle has 6 packs in it. That's not what's happening right now. Last I checked, Prismatic Evolutions is around $15, and the bundles I think are around $90, so that doesn't make sense. But if you look around the market, you'll see a couple of those like that, where you're like, wait, the loose booster packs are $15 for this set, but the bundle's like $75. Okay, deal, okay. So that's what's happening right now with the market with loose booster packs. If you want to pick them up, you can pick them up, but I gave reasons for pros and cons as to why to pick them up if you want to. Personally, I don't really pick them up that often unless it's for, like I said, good sets. So I have Crown Zenith loose booster packs set to the side. I have some Celebrations. I have Evolving Skies loose booster packs put to the side. And it's not to rip. It's to more or less invest and sell down the line. And I know where they all came from. They came from collection boxes. The Crown Zenith, those came from collection boxes back in the day as well. They also came from the Sea and Sky boxes, those big giant things that I did not want to ship out. And I was like, I'll just take the 14 packs. Thank you very much. So as long as you know where they came from and where they originated from, you're fine. You're golden. And then on top of that, just hold. It all goes up over time. But it's interesting to take a look. Go take a look and try to see if you can find some products where you count how many booster packs and you say, wow, this is at $50. This is at, let's say 5 packs. And it's like, wow, this is at, $60. It's $12 a pack, but it's $15 for loose packs. So this is a good buy. Why not, right? Especially if you go to a show. You go to a show and you know the products that are like that, you're going to be able to buy packs at a good price. So yeah, that's about it. It's very interesting what's going on with loose booster packs because it's understandable. Rip and chippers need them, so they're going to pull from the secondary market. And now that's kind of making certain other sealed items that people normally would want a little more enticing because the loose booster packs normally are lower than them. Might see a movement on those. I'm just saying. Guys, as always, I want to thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. I put out about 3 videos a week. And comment below. Do you guys see the same thing I'm seeing? Do you guys see something different for the market with loose booster packs? Appreciate you guys as always. I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.